102 tackles and 2 interceptions. I know that this might not be a full updated, I want to say, stat ratio. Shout out to DallasCowboys.com for this information. But I think he had more than 102 tackles. So it's not updated. But what I can just give you guys what I thought of LVE this year was the fact that he played his position well. He did his thing out there. And a lot of people forget about Sean Lee. So next year, what I want him to do is I want to see a sack by LVE. I want to see a little bit more INTs. He got 2, he had 1 that got away with him. He had a 1 sack, but they called it a penalty on that, and they had to end up giving it back to him, but taking it away from him. So it's crazy in a sense, but we're going to look at it by that I will give LVE his grade for this particular year. I have to say an A+. Surprised us all by expectations, and when reality meets expectation, you got to give it an A+. I don't know if anybody else can say something otherwise. You got to give it to him. The kid balled out. Schultz is the next person that's on this list. Starting off, Schultz, he's had a slow start. And looking at Schultz, he was one of those guys that I can say, maybe we could have went with another deal. Maybe we could have picked up someone else. But from what he brought to the table, I liked it. He started blossoming down the line. And we already know that when you look at Schultz, you're thinking long-term anyway. You're thinking long-term all the way down the line. So all I can say is from here, my thing is, of course, 12 reception, 116 yards. That's like a day in the park for Travis Kelce, right? But neither here nor there. I would say for Schultz next year, what I'm going to look for is a little bit more routes, vertical up the seam routes, and him continue to grow from that aspect of it, moving along the way. I do love. I see a lot of people saying Devin Smith. We'll talk about that too down the line. Devin Smith is a guy that was plagued with injuries. And we're talking about Devin Smith as it relates to what he did in Ohio State. It was fantastic. All right, so let's look at it from here. Connor Williams, number 52, 6'5", 298 pounds. I would say this right here with Connor. I want Connor to be like 310 pounds next year. I want him to be at least 310, 315. And I want Connor to get a little bit more strength in him. And the grade that I would give Connor started off, I would give him a C+, close to a B. But he was solid at certain factors of games. So I would say that. Dorrance Armstrong, we have yet to see him being explosive. We have yet to see him make an impact out there, but this was his first year. Normally for pass rushers, defensive ends, it takes 3 to 4 years before they blossom. So with Dorrance Armstrong, we still have to put a placeholder on him. I would just give him a C+ grade for right now. From when he came into the game, he did his thing. So all we got to do now is see what he's going to do next year, see if he can patch up those experience that he got. Now, this is the thing. When you see Dorrance Armstrong out there, and we're going to have cause for pause because now we got us back. Dorrance Armstrong out there, meaning that either Randy Gregory is not out there or we going to have to figure out, okay, what do we need to do from here as far as the draft? Because to me personally, defensive end, we don't need that. We good. This guy right here can step it up. Chris Covington. So, like I said, I give Dorrance Armstrong a C+. Chris Covington, he played most of the special team. He was not active most of the games. It's still a development process, still a development curve with him. So I'm not going to give him a grade at all. He didn't give enough time and tape out there. So as far as a guy that what I was looking for, if you're going to draft the kid, at least be a special team hero, warrior. and he didn't do that this year. But that's another story another day. Shout out to Mike White. Mike White right here, number 3. Quarterback, 6'4", 224 pounds. Remember, we was talking about this with Mike White. With Mike White, will we see growth with Mike White? Will we see something down the line with Mike White? Will we see a guy that can elevate his game to the next level? Because we'll give him the pass for this first year, of course, because what we want to see now is during the offseason, during the preseason, we really want to see Mike White light this thing up. He got the arm talent, got the accuracy. Let's see if we decide to stay with Kellen Moore as the quarterback coach. Can Mike White step it up? I want to know your thoughts, Cowboy Nation. Can Mike White actually step it up, or is that a wasteful pick? Depending on the coordinator that we get, offensive coordinator. I know a lot of people are leaning more towards Conley from Georgia. Yeah, he seems like a guy that can step it up and help us out on the offense. But somebody told me he got his ass whooped against Texas. So we're going to have to look at those things. And then if you're talking about Eric Bieniemy for the Chiefs, maybe, just maybe, he can be a guy that can come into this offense and help everything out. Because my guy, Jerry Reese, hit me up early this morning and said, hey, if you think about this, the Dallas Cowboys love, L-O-V-E, they love to hire from within. Would that be, quote unquote, more the same? If we do this, if we go back and we go and hire from within, the Nussmeyers of the world, I call them Quagmire at this point. I don't know them that much, you know. And they're talking about Kellen Moore. If he's the offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore is going to be elevated to be the offensive coordinator. If you might as well keep Scott Linehan at this point. Let me know, Cowboy Nation, what we think about this offensive coordinator job. Normally, when an offensive coordinator come into the mix, he like to bring his guys. He like to bring his philosophy on with him. So we'll see. We shall soon see. But let's jump back over. Dan Campbell, appreciate you. Joseph on the Periscope said, what about Dan Campbell? You know, I like his skill set. I like his temperament. Good morning, Miss Jackie. Thank you for tuning in. DJ Janiqua, appreciate you for being part of the mix. Really do. Adrian Soto, thank you for being part of this thing. And also Sheila Neal, appreciate you for being part of this early morning edition of Cowboys roster look at. We're going to look up everything. All right, so moving a little bit further on down the line. Oh, my goodness. I give Mike White a placeholder grade. I will give him an incomplete, basically. So, but moving on to my guy, Michael, the main man, Gallup, right? The Gallup polls were working, right? Michael Gallup, number 13, 6'1", 198 pounds. Hey, he's only 22 years old, right? He got a long way to go from Colorado, state. My thing is, we're going to see more production out of him. Let me see if the stats are updated on his profile. Let's see if the stats are updated. Somebody that's in the chat box, please bring up those stats for me. I love to see this from this guy. I know that he could have had more than 33 receptions. 507 yards, 2 touchdowns, 15.36 average. That's not bad at all. Especially coming out for rookies. That's not bad at all, Cowboy Nation. And this kid, he got a long way to go as far as total body of work. But I like what he exhibit all this season, all off season. I like the fact that he played through the. At one point in training camp, a lot of people was like, "Hey, he's the body catcher. He's Terrence Williams 2.0." But he corrected that. And then he showed that he can get the nastiness and go through traffic, catch the ball at a high point, pluck the ball with his hands. I like this kid. I really do. I'm not going to give him an A+ or anything. But for this year, I'm going to give him a solid B+. I really think that he stepped it up. And I think that the way he was able to, increase everything down the line, it could be the fact that Dak Prescott got a little bit better, or it could be the fact that the coverage was rolled to Amari Cooper's side. But to me, just to me, Cowboy Nation, I really like his upside. And Jackie Smith says the same. She said, I love Michael Gallup upside. I do too. The guy is going to be amazing. And I can't wait. This is a disclaimer right now. I can't wait for Cedric Wilson to come out there. Ooh-wee. It's going to be nice. All right, so let me jump back over to the list here. And it might re-jumbled everything. I forgot to do it that way. But let's see. Let's hope it don't. Let's see. So going in order by rookies. Yeah, it flipped it around. Let's see if I can pair it back up. And come on, computer, work with me. Hail Mary. Run quick C. It done messed up everything. All right, so it knocked my order off. Let me see where I was at. Okay, no worries. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Bam. There we go. All right, so Leighton Vander Esch, I already told you I give this guy an A. So Adam Redmond, he came into the mix. This is his first year, right? And what Adam was able to do, he still was able to be serviceable that one game. Remember that one game? Even at 6'6", 300 pounds, center/guard down the line. A good serviceable guy that can come into the mix. Hopefully, next year we'll find his replacement, somebody else that can come in and help solidify that offensive line. But for right now, for what he did out there on the field, let's give him kudos. Let's give him some kudos. So I will give Adam Redmond. I would have to give him. Let's see. I'm not gonna give him a flunk. He didn't flunk out, Antoine Barbecue Woods, number 99, defensive tackle. That's on your mind. 6'1", 318 pounds. That could be questionable there because he got to be bigger than 318. I'll give him 325. How about you all in the chat box? Do you give Antoine Barbecue Woods 325 pounds opposed to 318? My thing is with him, he went beyond my expectations. Antoine Woods was one of those guys that I can say just blossom with Rob Marinelli's scheme. Blossom with Rob Marinelli techniques and the way he exploded. To me personally, when he was playing for Tennessee, I was sitting there saying to myself, the burst is there. The disengagement is not really there. He get gobbled up when he get two combos and get double teamed or what have you. And playing when in the 3-4 defense, he disappeared. But coming over here to the 4-3 with Rob Marinelli, man, guys, number 99 gets an A. Janiqua said, number 99, Antoine Barbecue Woods. Guys, what you guys give the human law? Y'all give him an A? Oh, man. All right. Now, this is what I'm going to do for him. All right. I'm going to grade on a curve, okay? I'm going to grade on a curve. Okay, against the pass, on pass pro defense, or what have you, I'll give Antoine Barbecue Woods an A. Okay? Are you happy? I give him an A. But dog it against the run, I'm going to have to see a little bit more out of him. I'm going to have to see a little bit more out of that human log. So it's still a good grade. Don't crucify me, Cowboy Nation. He's going to get a B. Needs to improve. He's going to get a B against the run, A against the pass, okay? Can we settle for that? Can we settle for that, Cowboy Nation? A+ against, as Francisco says, A+. Okay. Woods played well. Nicholas Gracia. Okay. All right, let's move on a little bit down the line. They say that this position right here, Brett Maher, remember when he came on, we was like, I'm not going to say Maher. I'm not going to say Maher or Maher. I'm not going to say that at all. He's a kicker. They don't count. All right, so with Brett, his grade for coming into the seam or coming behind one of our greatest kickers of all time, right? And everybody had high expectations, but when expectations meets reality, we sit back and we say to ourselves, okay, whatever, Brett. But I can't flunk this kid at all. I cannot. He did his job out there. As it relates, I'm going to have to give him a dual grade as well, okay? Guys, follow me when I say this. Brett Maher on kicks that's 50 yards and beyond. I give him an A+, actually. But dog it on yards that's like 40 and below. I'll have to give him a C+. I got to. In a kicker's world, you got to make those kicks because that's all you do. You don't do nothing else. You sit back and chill, parlay on the sideline, drinking your Gatorade, stretching out your hams. Then you miss a kick? No. Everybody else got blood out there, right? Is C+ for any kicks that's below 40 yards, right? But if it's 45 and beyond, 48, 49, anything beyond, A+. So you add those together, you get a B. So I would put Brett Maher right in the middle. Now, this is the thing, Cowboy Nation. Do you bring him back next year? I would say no. You don't bring him back without competition, meaning that you have to go out there and find some other kickers and see if he can outperform and outkick those other kickers. He got to earn every play next year. Off season, Oxnard, we're going to be out there. We're going to be looking at the kicker matchup. Normally, when the money man Bailey was out there, we never even paid attention to the kickers for the years that he was out here. We never paid attention during Oxnard. We say, is Dan okay? Nah, we ain't even worried about Dan. We evaluating the other things. But this year, 2019, if you know what I mean, that rhymes. We're going to be looking at the kickers competition. All right, moving on down. Randy Gregory. Oh, man, he had a good year, right? Not a great year, but he had a good, solid year. This is what this guy needed. Number 94. Let me talk to you guys. Number 94 needed this year more so than anything. He needed this type of year to be able to elevate his game, to let people know that he can be a dominant pass rusher. He can be a guy that can elevate this team and things like that. To me personally, I would give Randy, I like to give these split grades all of a sudden. I like to give these split grades. As far as what he was able to accomplish off the field, to get his mental capacity together, I will have to give this guy an A+ in that category. Off the field, A+. Because people fail to realize there's stories within the stories. Because if you look at the requirements, what needed for him to be able to play on Sundays is crazy. Random drug testing, being able to have somebody to knock on his door at any given time and say, hey, dog, come talk to me. Come pee in this cup. Or, hey, we got to fly you all the way to Chicago. Off the field stuff, Randy Gregory gets an A+. He got his stuff together or something like that, and he looked at everything and said, hey, this responsibility is on me as a man. I got to take care of my family, not just for today, but for tomorrow. And the only way that I can be able to elevate myself and my entire family, the Gregory household, every man must be a king, at least in his own castle. Everybody that we talking that's listening to me right now, you are a king. Especially, I'm talking to the man. I know y'all ladies, y'all got